The collapse of life as we know it in America is here. You feel it too. Every time you buy groceries, fill up your tank, or check your retirement account. But the real danger isn't just financial, it's social. When families can no longer afford to feed their children, when trust between people breaks down, societal unrest always follows. But this isn't just me saying that. Some of the most respected voices in history and finance have laid out exactly what comes next, using historical patterns and cycles to show us just how radically different everyday life in America is about to become. From Ray Dalio's The Big Cycle, calling out excessive money printing, conflict, weak leadership, loss of reserve currency, and ultimately, civil war, to William Strauss and Neil Howe's The Fourth Turning, which was written during an era of unraveling and has since shifted into an era of crisis. But none of these are marked by a single moment, rather a collection of moments, one that transforms the world as we know it. And for those of us who are acutely aware of the injustices, of the corruption, of the elites and the power that they wield over the rest of us, sometimes we find ourselves almost wishing for that next stage. If nothing else, just to wake up the people out there who don't see what's happening. I myself have been guilty of this, because once your eyes are open to the system and how we all have been duped, we have been sold a lie and we bought it. Work hard, make the right decisions, and you will be prosperous. They gave us the American dream while ripping the foundation right out from underneath us. But for many, they don't even realize this until it is far too late. Waking up one day to discover that your savings are worth a fraction of what they used to be. That your 401k, it's not nearly enough to survive on. And for those that are fortunate enough to own a home, well, they'll never really know true ownership because of a little thing called property taxes. I myself have witnessed loved ones go through this moment of realization, and I am angry on their behalf. In fact, I'm so angry that sometimes it makes me want to burn it all down, rip back the curtain, have the house of cards come crashing down. But in those moments, I do remember our president here at ITM Trading, Eric, has said, be careful what you wish for, because while it might be vindicating in the moment, wishing for that to come crashing down is undoubtedly going to cause a lot of people a lot of pain. But the sad truth is, it doesn't matter what I wish for. The reset is accelerating. The cycles are shifting. The world is turning. And if you ask me honestly, can we put the toothpaste back in the tube? My answer is no. But while we can't go back, and we certainly can't change the forces that be, we can take action to protect ourselves. Building community has never been more important and is only going to be more important in the future. Trust in our society is breaking down, rightfully so. When you have been burned by leadership, by government, by media, by loved ones, who do you trust? Find people in your real life. Find people that you can trust. Build and foster those relationships, as it is community that is going to be the foundation for this next stage. It is what will make the difference of those who get through and those who don't. And as a prepper myself, make sure that you have the basics, that you are prepared with food, water, shelter, power, medical, security. Make sure that you have your preps in place, and take this time to hone your skills. Find your weakness and make it your strength. In an era of YouTube University, or YouTube U, as I like to call it, there is no shortage of accessibility to honing your skills, your knowledge, your education, your tools intrinsically that you can take with you no matter where you go, no matter what happens. And of course, as always, make sure you have your gold and silver, something real and tangible, a true store of value that you have that they can't take from you, they can't control you with. I don't share any of this to scare you. That is never my intention. As I said earlier, I just know too many people personally who have woken up one day to realize that their security and their stability was nothing more than an illusion. It is time now to be your own teacher, to be your own farmer, to be your own bank. And if you've made it this far in the video, it's no doubt that it's a more sobering video than I typically make. It's a big departure. But to be honest, it's because of yesterday's events. I felt in my core that this societal unrest that we're seeing is only going to get worse. And it's as predicted, right? History tells us this. We are shifting through this next phase. towards the end of this cycle. We can see things happening more rapidly, right? When people can't afford to feed their families and when trust deteriorates, when you have the elites benefiting at the expense of the majority, that is when societies collapse, right? Every empire has fallen. There is no exception. This time is no different. I don't have all the answers, not by a mile. I'm not a politician. I'm not an insider with inside information. I'm not even traditionally trained with a finance background from these institutions. No, I, like many of you, am a regular person who honestly had more questions than answers. And when I looked around back then, I knew the system was broken, but what I couldn't understand is why isn't anything changing? Why aren't those in power changing anything? How is our government so incompetent? And why are all the promises that keep getting made that things will get better falling so flat? And it was then that I had my light bulb moment, when I realized that the system isn't broken. The system is working exactly as designed. It's not meant to benefit you and I. It is meant to benefit the elite. That is the whole way that it's set up. And once I realized that, that's when I realized that things weren't going to get better, at least probably not in my lifetime. And again, this is not to be pessimistic. This is the way the world has operated for thousands of years in these cycles that we continue to see. That realization is when I started focusing on what can I control and how can I lift up others and bring them with me on this journey. That's really my motivation. And again, I appreciate you being here with me today. So vulnerable. It felt right, given the current climate, to just speak from the heart. But I know it's a lot of heavy stuff, and I don't want to leave you on a heavy note. There's always so much more we can get into. I think the biggest takeaway is what you can control and what you can do in your own life. All of that being said, again, I am so big on education. There's a lot more we can get into. I am doing a free webinar, because again, this education is so important to me, and I know to all of you. Surviving the reset. It's the 4 stages of currency collapse and how you can protect yourself. So if you are not already registered, scan the QR code, or there's a registration link below in the description. Again, it's completely free. Just let me know you're coming. It is September 25th. It's in 2 weeks on a Thursday at 10 a.m. I really hope to see you there. And while all of this is heavy, it only honestly further reinforces my mission and why I'm doing what I'm doing, why you are sitting there watching me, right? And why our entire team are such big believers in gold and silver. And in fact, if you have talked to anyone from our team, if you've called us or set up a time to talk to us, you know that every single analyst here is just as passionate, if not more passionate, about helping people protect their wealth, right? Every single person here has an incredible story. I love our team so much. I'm not just saying that. I have learned from some of the best. And if you have any questions or you want to learn more about how to protect yourself, now is the time to do it. So call us at the number below or click the link in the Calendly. And of course, please go hug your loved ones a little bit tighter. Stay safe out there. And as always, I'm Taylor Kenney with ITM Trading, your trusted source for all things gold, silver, and lifelong wealth protection. Until next time.